Hey, it's Mike. Thought I would do another in my autoimmune series. If you're just joining the series, my name is Mike. I'm a neonatal nurse practitioner. Was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis 2 years ago. Um, Became pretty disabling to where I can't work at this point. About, a year and a half ago, tried to go back to work, had a huge flare, and have been recovering ever since, doing much better. One of the things I mentioned in my last video was I was going through a flare right now. I was trying to figure out what the heck is causing this. It was something that was creeping up on me over the past couple of weeks. So I kind of took it down to maybe vitamin D deficiency. I don't know that for certain because I haven't got my lab checked. The last lab I had checked for my vitamin D level was in the summer, and it was good, as you can expect in the summer. My vitamin D level was good at like 90. I think it's nanomoles, I think, for milliliter. Anyway, so I thought I would talk a little bit about vitamin D and the importance of vitamin D, especially with autoimmune disease. As I mentioned before, with autoimmune disease, it's with vitamin D is very important in the helping the convert your if you're on synthroid, your thyroid hormone replacement is helping convert that over, is what you really need for vitamin D for. So if you have that, especially with hypothyroid patients, if you don't have enough vitamin D, you're going to have hypothyroid symptoms like fatigue, achiness, and it might not be your it's your thyroid indirectly related, but it could be a vitamin D deficiency. If I got my thyroid labs checked right now, they'd probably be pretty normal. That's what I'm assuming. So it could be vitamin D. As I said, the past couple of weeks, it's been winter, or going into winter, haven't been outside as much, not getting the sun, and with being an autoimmune patient, I don't create my own vitamin D. So I don't supplement, I'm not creating it by getting in the sun, so it could be deficiency. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was vitamin D itself. So the vitamin D, with the level that you want to get is the 25 hydroxy D level. That should be 30 to 100 is what they consider normal, but again, what's normal for you might not be what they say is normal for everybody in the world, right? So it's whatever is what you feel best at. So for autoimmune patients, you want to keep that greater than like maybe around 60 to 70 is what I've heard at one point. So like I said, mine at 90 was pretty good. When I initially started this out, I was down to like 19 and 20, which is considerably deficient for somebody who has autoimmune disease. So taking a vitamin D supplementation, there's two different vitamin Ds out there. There's vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. Most of the over-the-counter that you get is vitamin D3. And again, I have not seen any inconsistencies of how you take it, whether it be a pill, a dropper. I take vitamin D3 drops. Now, how much do I take? So what I've done was, again, this is individual. I'm not recommending anything for anybody, but recommend you have to get your level checked, see where you're at. What they say is about 1,000 international units of D3 will take your level up by like 7 to 10. I don't know why mine is at this point. I'm just going to supplement because of my symptoms. I take 5,000 international units a day of this drop. So I'm going to go based on my symptoms that I have had. So again, get your level drawn. You need to work with your provider about how much vitamin D you should take, and then toy with that a little bit based on your symptoms. Thyroid patients, what they do recommend is sometimes thyroid patients need to take as much as 10,000 international units per day. I'm going to try 5,000 for 2 weeks. If I don't see any change, I'm going to go to 10,000 for a couple weeks. And then what I need to do is make a plan. In New England here, we do not have, in the winter months here, you cannot get enough vitamin D from the sun. The sun is at too low of an angle in the sky, so even on the sunniest day in New England, you can't get enough. Look at right now, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like 3:30 and it's almost dark. Or it's getting dark. The sun just went down behind the mountains there. So we cannot get enough sun. So when you get your labs drawn, know what time of year it is, and based on if it's in the summer months and it's high, just get your plan for supplementation. Especially if you're a thyroid patient, you're going to need to supplement in the winter. One of the other things too is if you're supplementing with vitamin D, there are cofactors that are needed to help convert vitamin D. It's magnesium, vitamin K2, zinc, boron, vitamin A. So if you take a good multivitamin, you might have some of that in there. Remember, vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means that it will stay in your fat. It's not going to be peed out like the water-soluble like vitamin C. So signs of toxicity, low appetite, nausea, vomiting, thirst, excessive urination, weakness, nervousness. So if you have any of those symptoms and you're taking vitamin D, get your vitamin D level checked right away. Again, in New England, your vitamin D level is at the highest internally in August, and it's the lowest in February. And I thought I had a plan going into this year, and I screwed that plan up majorly. So I'm going to supplement for a little bit. I get my physical in January, and actually that's when I'm going to get my vitamin D level drawn, because I want to see what it is at the lowest point of the year. I think that's it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have any questions, leave some comments for me. If there's anything that you want to hear about or me to talk about, just let me know, and I'd be happy to do it. Thanks.